G'day Gorgeous, my name is Amanda Jane Clarkson and welcome to my brand new podcast that empowers women for life. I'm super excited about this podcast show because it's something that I have been planning for quite some time. In fact, I think about the past 6 months. And this podcast is for women who dare to live their dreams. This podcast is for women who crave more from life, and for those women out there who want more clarity, more certainty, and more confidence. And I can promise you that this podcast is going to be raw, it's going to be real and very relatable because it's based on real life stories. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly in the pursuit of going from feeling frustrated to feeling fabulous and successful in all 7 areas of life. Now, these 7 areas of life that I want to share with you on this brand new podcast, ladies, I'm talking about love. And when I say love, I'm talking about self-love or wanting to attract that lover into your life. I want to talk about health, relationships, money. Now, I know everybody wants more money, but why don't people have money in their life? And this is a subject that's very dear to my heart because I see so many women and guys struggling with money. And so it's something that I definitely want to talk about. Vocation, your job and your career and your business. Happiness. We all want to feel more happiness, more peaceful, more joyful in our life when we wake up of a morning. And the most important part of this journey is personal growth. So let me quickly share the reason why I'm just so excited to amplify this message for women, get this message out there globally and creating what I love to call the butterfly effect of change. Because what's happening already, and this is based on my own life journey, and I want to share with you now, just take a moment and share with you why I actually started this podcast. I am a woman, I'm in my 50s, and recently I just wrote a book. I'm an author and I'm a speaker, I'm a mentor, and I'm a wealth and lifestyle coach for women. But what I can share with you is that my life has not always been like this, and you'll get to know me along this journey. However, for the first podcast, I want to take a moment and share with you why I am creating the Gday Gorgeous podcast that truly empowers women for life and why I'm so passionate about it. And I just love talking about, impacting women, inspiring them and helping them change their life because, as I just said a moment ago, I am a woman in my 50s and I've been on this journey of self-empowerment for a very long time. In fact, since 1997, I started this journey after having an epiphany, learning to become a personal trainer. My background, I won't go right into that now because you'll get to know me through many, many other episodes on this podcast. However, from a young child growing up in a family of 7 in Tasmania, I left home at the age of 16 in the pursuit of trying to figure out life, wanting to live life on my own terms. And as I'm sharing this story with you, I'd really love you to come on this journey with me and think about your life. And I believe as a woman, if you're a woman listening to this, I would say, if I was looking you in the eyes, that I've probably walked thousands of miles in your shoes. I've had 33 jobs. I've started 14 different businesses from scratch. But the whole reason behind all those different jobs, all those different businesses, was the pursuit of the biggest thing that I wanted to achieve in my life. And that thing was freedom. to live my life on my own terms, to live my life the way I dreamed it would be since I was a kid, to live my life not according to what others wanted me to do, not trying to fit into society's way of thinking, or what I like to call conformity, you know. And I know that as young kids growing up, we are conditioned by our parents, by our teachers, by our community, by the environment that we grow up in, by our aunties and uncles, and depending on who's in our life at the time, we are conditioned to think and be and act a certain way. But as a young child, I knew that I didn't want to be like everybody else. I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know even how to put that into words at that time. But I knew that I just wanted to break away from what my parents wanted me to become, which was go to school, get good grades, find yourself a husband, have a bunch of kids, you know, be a homemaker, and then, you know, get a husband will make all the money, and then you get to retire at 60 years of age and the government will take care of you for the rest of your life. And I remember thinking as a young kid, thinking, shit, that's not how I want to live the rest of my life. I had dreams of becoming a millionaire. Now, imagine it as a young kid in the 1970s, growing up in a place called Tasmania, which is an island right down underneath Australia. I didn't even know I didn't even know what a millionaire meant, but I'd heard of the word, and I knew that people that were millionaires had a great life and they had freedom and they got to travel and they got to do anything they wanted to do. So even with my very limited thinking, my limited mentality, I knew as a kid that I didn't want to fit into the box of what other people wanted me to be. And so that began my journey of, you know, self-discovery, I guess you might say, after moving out of home. And I went from job to job to job, hated all of them, started different businesses. And I'm just going to sort of quickly go through this content because there'll be so much more that unfolds from the rest of the podcast coming your way shortly. But I just wanted to share really why I'm so enthusiastic about inspiring other women to go out there and live their dreams and not feel that they have to conform with what other people want, the expectations of what other people think they should be doing with their life, you know. And that was the reason that I ended up writing a book, but I'm getting ahead of myself, I know. And so many years later, after beginning and starting 14 different businesses from scratch, 10 of them were incredible failures for all the right reasons, and only 4 of those 14 businesses were successful. And when I say successful, the 4 businesses that were successful were the businesses where I was serving the community, where I was impacting other people. In other words, helping other people achieve success, which in effect, well, the cause and effect, helped us become successful in our life. And so to cut a very long story short, and I'm hoping you can relate to this in some way or another, especially with my childhood being told this is what life should be, but not wanting to be what they wanted me to be. And so going through all these different businesses, a couple of years ago we finished up one of our businesses, which was we used to help people create money through learning and becoming educated about making money on the internet. And at that time it was about eBay, and then, you know, for years we helped people discover how they could create a home-based business and set themselves free financially, mentally and emotionally by becoming who they needed to be to have the life that they wanted. And 18 months ago, we finished that business up. We closed that business for a number of reasons. It was just time for a brand new chapter of life. You know what I mean? You get to certain stages in your life and, you know, you create a certain amount of success or what you wanted to achieve. And it was just time for a brand new chapter of our life. And that was one of my favorite businesses. You know, I really love spending time helping other people, inspiring other people, mentoring people. And I went through a really tough time where I felt very, very empty inside, you know, literally, you know, without one, you know, I hope it don't sound like I'm bragging because it's certainly not my style, but I was at the stage of my life where I was fortunate enough from all the businesses that I've done and, you know, things that we had created in our life where I was able to retire at 51 years of age. And I remember thinking, oh my God, you know, at 51 years of age, I can retire. We were financially free. We were debt free, and I could literally do what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. You know, gardening if I felt like it, traveling if we felt like it. But I have to be honest with you, I felt this sense of emptiness, this sense of loneliness, and there was something missing inside of me. And I don't know if you've ever experienced the same thing where you get to a certain stage in life, and it could be anywhere in your job, your career, or your business, or just going through your personal life, where you feel emotionally empty. Have you ever felt like that, where you just didn't feel right? And so I went away and I stayed at a hotel for a few days just to do some thinking and some soul searching about what the rest of my life could look like. You know, here I am at 51 years of age thinking, oh my God, you know, all these years of toil and hard work and sacrifice, because I was always told as a kid that if you want something, Amanda, you've got to work hard for it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Or my parents used to say things like, who do you think we are, made of money? Or, you know, if you want something, you get out there, you get a job, and you might have to get 3 or 4 jobs because, you know, money doesn't come easy, you know. Money's for the rich people. We're not rich, so we've got to work hard and just accept our lot in life. You know, all this type of languaging and these words and these beliefs that I had growing up. And so here I am at 51 years of age, after having worked hard and toiling away and making, as I said, some sacrifices. And I've no doubt you're probably relating to some of my story by now. And we've made some investments, you know. Here I am at 51 and I could retire. Now, I've got to say right up front, you know, life has not been easy. You know, I know what it's like to feel lonely. I know what it's like to feel afraid. I know what it's like to be in tears with zero confidence, wondering how I'm going to make ends meet. I know what it's like to build a multi-million-dollar business that is taken out and destroyed overnight from a natural disaster with a flood that we had here in Queensland in 2011. I know what it's like to go to bed with $1 million in an asset, wake up and that money has been dissolved with the GFC, you know. So it has not always been an easy road for us. So I don't want to put that meaning out there. I don't want you to think and feel that, you know, we've been ups and downs, you know, the good, the bad and the downright bloody ugly. But anyway, back to the story. Here I am and I'm thinking, oh, you know, is this it? And after going away for a couple of days, I'm sitting in this hotel room and I sort of had this feeling or this inner intuition, you might say. And I know as a woman, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. And I had all this knowledge and all this information swirling around inside of me. And I thought to myself, Amanda, you can't retire. You can't stop what you're doing. You have so much to share with other women. You have so many stories. You have something within you that you need to get out and give. You need to get out and share. You need to get out and show other women how they too can go from feeling frustrated in any area of their life to feeling and becoming successful in whatever area of life that they feel frustrated with. And, and I had this epiphany. It was my second epiphany of my life, I think I'd say. And it was in that moment of clarity, in that moment of certainty, that I knew in my heart what I needed to do. And in that moment, I pulled out my laptop. I can still remember the day. It was a Saturday morning at 5 a.m. I'd gotten out of bed and I'd done some meditation. And I pulled my laptop out and I started writing, and the words that came up on my laptop was from frustrated to fabulous. And I actually have the book sitting here if you're watching the version of this, because this podcast is also made in video format. You can see the book here, From Frustrated to Fabulous, an inspirational guide for women who dare to live their dreams. And I sat there and I started writing this brand new book, which has been just recently released, for women who had a dream. And this book I wrote from my heart to your heart, from one woman to another who understands the journey of life. I'm a woman, I'm an everyday woman. As I said, I have walked thousands of miles on my own journey. I have made countless mistakes. I have learned countless life lessons. I've had the ups, I've had the downs, I've had the in-betweens. And I'm grateful to say that throughout my journey, from the 4 businesses that were incredibly successful, all based on giving and sharing and mentoring others, helping other people get what they want, I've had the privilege of sharing the stage, speaking all around the world with my mentors, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, our former Prime Minister, John Howard, one of my dear mentors, Dr. John D. Martini, the beautiful Ita Buttrose, and Donald Trump before he became the president. So many of my mentors that I've had the privilege of sharing the stage with. But really, what I'm most excited about and I love the most from all that is who I've become as a person, empowered in all 7 areas of my life now. But what I love the most is being able to share this message, create what I love to call the butterfly effect, which is actually one of the chapters in my book. It's the chapter 12 in my book called The Butterfly Effect, where, transforming a life or helping another person believe in themselves enough, love themselves enough, see hope where they couldn't see hope, see answers where they could only see problems, see solutions when they just couldn't see past their own fears and their own self-judgments, Helping other women shine from the inside out is what gets me out of bed each and every day. And since I've been on this journey of helping other women discover their own uniqueness, discover who they are as women, discover their own talents and their purpose in life, I have just seen, well, they're not miracles because they're just self-discovery stories, women who have completely turned their life around, and where they have felt frustrated, where they have felt angry, where they have felt resentful, completely turn that around to feeling hopeful, to feeling light, to feeling enthusiastic about their life, to feeling inspired to take different action. In other words, start that full transformation in their life, or begin a brand new chapter in their life of what could be. And so that there is, the reason, I guess, or the impetus why I needed to start this podcast, because my mission is to get this message, with your help hopefully, to as many women as possible, because I believe every woman has so many unique gifts and talents, has so much within her. And yet as women, I know, because this was me, and I know you'll relate to this, sometimes we have so much self-toxic talk going on. We are so hard on ourselves. We are so busy comparing ourselves with everyone else out there. And I was certainly not the popular girl at school. In fact, I was unattractive. I was not intelligent. I failed every subject at school except religion and art. Go figure. And I had a really hard time at school, and I understand what it's like to be that girl that nobody wants to be a friend with. And I remember a story, and I call myself the Wallflower, and I went to I used to go to a girls' Catholic private school when I was young, and the school behind us was the boys' Catholic private school. But every Friday the boys would come up to the girls' school, and we'd have to stand in the big freezing cold hall at school, and all the girls would line up against the wall. And what happened is they'd bring the guys in, and I was in grade 6 and grade 7 this went on for, and the boys would have to ask the girls to dance. We had dancing lessons. And I kid you not, literally almost week after week, I was the only girl left standing against the wall. And it still brings tears to my eyes, not because I'm sad or anything. It's just, I remember it so vividly. I mean, take yourself back to school. Do you remember these moments? And, you know, as hard as they are, they help us become who we end up being in life. And, you know, I remember I used to stand there like a wallflower every Friday, not being asked to dance because I wasn't pretty, I wasn't popular, you know, I didn't have the looks that some of the other girls had. And I used to hate myself. I used to beat up on myself and go, what's wrong with me? And then, you know, this is so normal for women. And, you know, I have such a heart for women and an understanding of what those times in our life, that how they can affect us going right through our adult life. Never feeling popular, never feeling good enough, never feeling what we think we need to become who we want to be or to have the things that we want to have. But I'm here to let you know, I'm here to share a strong message that I believe in you. I see you, I hear you, and I understand the journey. And I know from my own experience, throughout my journey, that you can become whoever you want to be. You can have the life that you dream of. You can create that life by design instead of living by default, or worse still, a life of desperation. But it starts with you. It starts with a small shift in your thinking. It starts with self-belief and a commitment. And if you like what you've heard so far in this podcast, and if you can relate in any way, shape or form, then this is the podcast that I would love you to tune in into each and every week, because as I said, gorgeous, you're going to get me every week. I am real, I am raw, and I am relatable because I've gone on the journey. And now as I sit here I'm actually in my studio at home. I'm sitting in my dream home that was a dream for 20 years. I carried this dream around in a scrapbook of pictures. And over the years, I created my own Live Now Freedom Formula, which is a set of success principles that I live my life by every single day. And these are the set of success principles that I'm going to share with you throughout this podcast on this journey together. And all I ask of you is that you have an open heart and an open mind, because if you're a woman and you crave for more in your life, you want more than you have now, and you know you are worth it, you just need a helping hand, you need a guide, you need that self-belief, you need that clarity, you need that vision. you need somebody who understands you, then this is the podcast for you. And I want to say thank you for tuning into this first podcast. I have so much to share with you, and as I said, I believe in you, and if you want to turn your life around, you want a better life in all those 7 areas, which again are your love, your health, your relationships, more money because you deserve it, more freedom, more joy, more abundance, more happiness, personal growth and happiness, as I just said, then this is the podcast for you, because Gday Gorgeous, as I said, empowers women for life. So I want to say thank you for joining me on this first podcast. And if you've liked what you've heard so far or liked what you've seen, then I would love for you to share this with somebody else that you know who is feeling frustrated with any area of their life and would love to feel fabulous, would love to become successful in all areas of her life, then please help me with the butterfly effect. Share this message, and I would love for you now to download the next 3 podcasts, and I'm going to go into a little bit more about my story, who I am, and how, more importantly, I can help you create that life by design that I know you want. I can help you create a life that you dream of, probably since you were a young girl like I did, or like I have. And I would be so appreciative if you could share this message, help me get this out there, and really make an impact on other women, because I'm sure you would agree this is a very, very important message, and I would be forever grateful to you. So gorgeous, until the next episode, as I always say, be bold, be courageous, and be fabulous. And thank you with love and gratitude. This is Amanda Jane, and I look forward to seeing you on my next podcast. Have a fabulous day, gorgeous, and bye for now.